Hello everybody, welcome back to Monday Night Short Track Racing. Hi Michelle, I see you in chat. Nope, AJ is not here. Again, this Dennis, I will be taking over the channel on Monday nights. So, still trying to get used to it myself. I know AJ is definitely not used to having someone else streaming on his platform either, so it's a change for both of us. So, but we are at Martinsville with the CRA late models. Or I should say these are the late model stocks based off the CRA cars. But tonight I will go ahead and pull up your race info. We have 2 heat races in stock as long as we get enough cars. It looks like we do have enough. We'll have 2 8-lap heat races to set the grid for your 100-lap feature event. They have 2 sets of tires for the feature, 1 on the car, 1 on the wall, 1 fast repair, and 2 green-white checkers. Weather tonight is 72 degrees, 87% humidity, cloudy, so track temp shouldn't really play into effect for these guys too much. As these guys start transitioning over to qual, I do have an announcement for the league. They picked up a new sponsor. They, on top of having the Free to Fly Holland LLC sponsoring the league itself, they now picked up a setup sponsor. BRNZ, Burns Performance, is who will be doing these guys' setups for the rest of this season. So that's a big deal for these guys, getting a setup shop to sponsor putting some setups out here. So this one should be a good race. Martinsville always produces some really tight, really bumper to bumper elbows. It's gonna be interesting. Definitely with these cars. They do take quite a beating. Last couple weeks we've seen quite a few people pop the wall on exit, and doesn't really affect the car too much. So, and with this having a setup shop set up, it should be quick, it should be racy. So, should be fun to watch. We are here, Polar. We are here. Get your guys's... Get the scoring tower up for qualifying. So the qualifying will set up what heat these guys jump into. And of course the tower wants to be buggy. Let me see if I can reload that. There we go. Sometimes you know how software works. Still learning some stuff myself, and sometimes it doesn't like to load properly. But no, should be a great field tonight. I did a little bit of running in this on the stock setup. Obviously I didn't have the, as we watch Keith catch the curbing there. That's one thing to look out for, is if this car grabs the curbing, it will either throw you or hook you. So, and if you got a guy on the outside of you, better watch out, because... But I ran some laps in the stock setup around here, and this car is, I've said it the last couple weeks, but this car is just so much fun. These guys... I think these guys have 10-minute quali sessions. Nope. I got a minute left. A minute 50, so only 5 minutes total for the qual session, so they shortened it up from the last couple weeks. Got some pretty good laps out there though. 19.6s. As you got right now on track, on screen, Joseph Went. He's had a rough couple weeks, last couple weeks, so hopefully he can turn it around here. I know a lot of people had this track circled for, they were looking forward to it. I'm gonna pull it right into the garage area. As on track, on screen now, I should say, is Colton Brooks. Looks like he is the last person to attempt a quali lap here. Nope. William Clark in the 47. Going out for his first lap. Yeah, I grew up watching my dad race, so I've always been around short tracks, and it's cool seeing whether it's the late model stocks like these, the CRA cars, or up where I live, we have the Wedge super late models. So it's cool seeing different cars for different areas of the country. Well, we're about to start heat number 1, and this will be the grid lineup for heat 1. You got Chase Pierce on the pole, Billy Gregg second, Ryan Likens third, Joseph Klein fourth, Colton Brooks fifth, Joseph Went sixth, Keith says yes will be seventh, Bradley Potts eighth, and William Clark will round out the field ninth. So that'll be the starting grid for your first heat. As we wait for a couple drivers here to get on the actual grid itself. Nope, so this is a completely different series. They get 15 incidents before they get a penalty, and this week there is no DQ limit. So this is completely separate from their super speedway stuff. So yes, car. So I am Polar. He runs this league. He talked to Keith and Big Duke, and they were happy enough to allow him to use the Yes Car platform to promote the late model stuff. But they're working hand in hand on it. So, but it is completely separate from your Yes Car 3D that we do on the Fridays and Saturday nights and stuff like that. So. And the lights are off on the pace car. We'll be going green next time by. Get that up for you guys. Yeah, same family, different boss. I like that, Polar. As pace car peels off, field rounds turns 3 and 4. Chase Pierce will bring us to the line. Green is out. Chase with a good jump. Billy's going to try to slot in second. Ryan's going to duck underneath him though. This is probably going to run an awful lot like old school, where I think it's going to be really hard to hold off anyone once you get in that second lane. Yep, you can see Billy Gregg duck back down into third once he found that hole. Chase Pierce continues to lead. Single file throughout the field so far. There is a little battle here back between Joseph Klein and Colton Brooks. Klein looking to get underneath Brooks. He's got a nose in there. Yeah, once someone gets there, it's hard to fight it off at that point. And all these guys right now are just trying to battle for a better starting spot in the feature. So, just trying to learn what the car does. This is the first time some of these guys have raced these setups. Oh, as there's contact in the back there. Oh, Keith and Colton Brooks. Keith's had a rough couple weeks. And with heat racing, a lot of times they don't have yellows for heats. That way they can get them done and out of the way. Chase Pierce continues to lead. Ryan Likens he's not letting slide away, and neither is Billy Gregg. The top three are still nose to tail, separated by less than a second. Got about 2-second gap back here to Joseph Klein. Joseph Wentz back here about 4.5 back. William Clark's right off his back bumper. Bradley Potts is back here, running 7th right now. Colton Brooks is just trying to manage after that contact with Keith, as Keith looks like he's spun around again. Still top three. The top two started to pull away from third place Billy Gregg a little bit. White flag, last lap of this heat race. Chase Pierce is going to lead Ryan down into 3. Coming out of turn 4, Chase Pierce will take the checkered for your first heat race of the night. Followed by Ryan Likens, Billy Gregg, Joseph Klein 4th, Joseph Went 5th, William Clark 6th, Bradley Potts 7th, Colton Brooks 8th, and Keith is going to round out the field in 9th. Let's get the starting grid up for heat number 2. Daniel Bernelli is going to start on the pole for heat number 2 on his outside. Dylan Potts behind him. Dominic Lumley. Then you got Frank Barber. I'm sorry, I'm still trying to learn these names. Barber Barabee. Sorry, I'm awful. It's been a rough night. Jaden McGowan's gonna be 5th. Josh Laughlin is 6th. Brandon Drury is 7th. Gage Knox is obviously polar. He's race control. So Jeremy Boz will actually be starting 8th. Sorry about that, guys. I got tongue twisted. Get that back up on screen for you guys. See these guys trying to put some heat in the tires. Apparently my info was wrong. They are 10 lap heats, not 8. So that is my bad. I gave out the wrong info. But so 10 lap heats. As the pace car pulls off, Daniel Brunelli will lead the field around 3 and 4. Green flag is out. Good jump by the inside line. Him and Dominic Lumley. Dylan Potts is going to try to fight off on the outside. Brunelli is liking what he sees when those guys are side by side. They're not letting him sneak away though. Potts is going to slide into third, give Lumley a second. Top 3 have pulled away a little bit from 4th place Frank Barbaby. Got Jaden McGowan back here battling with Braden Drury. Top 3 are still pretty nose to tail, separated by about half a second. Then they got a second and a half back to 4th place. Top 3 are starting to pull even farther away from 4th place Barbaby. And then your 4th place has got probably second and a half over Jaden McGowan back here in 5th. Battle here between 002 of Josh Laughlin. He's got quite a bit of right front damage. I think he's fighting that car. Him and Braden Drury are battling back and forth. As your leader, Daniel Brumley, is starting to pull away on Dominic a little bit here. Opened up about a half-second gap. Then full second back here to Dylan Potts. And at a place like this, starting position for a feature can mean everything. Because it's once you get established in a lane and the run starts going, it's very difficult to get passes done. So every row on a restart or the initial start can play a huge role in where you have to slide in and then where you end up for a long run. As Brumley takes the white flag last lap of this heat race. Dominic Lumley still sits in second. Dylan Potts third. Coming out of 4, this one's all Daniel Brunley. pull up the results. There's the results from Heat 2. Daniel Brumley. Oh, as we transition. There we go. So, Heat 2 results. Daniel Brumley, Dominic Lumley. Daniel Brunelli, Dominic Lumley, Dylan Potts, Frank Barbaby, Jaden McGowan, Jeremy Boz, Braden Drury, and Josh Laughlin is going to round out that heat. As we pull up the grid for your 100 lap feature. It's going to be Chase Price with the pole. On his outside, Daniel Bernelli. Ryan Likens going to start third. Dominic Lumley fourth. Billy Gregg will start fifth. Dylan Potts sixth. Joseph Klein seventh. Frank Barbaby 8th. Joseph went 9th. Jeremy Boz will be 10th. Nope, my bad. So, Jaden McGowan's 10th. William Clark 11th. Jeremy Boz is 12th. Slide back a little farther. Bradley Potts 13th. Braden Drury is 14th. Colton Brooks 15th. Josh McLaughlin is 16th. Keith is going to start shotgun of the field at 17th. Get the track map back up. Getting ready for 100 laps around Martinsville. We'll see how quick Daniel Bernelli and Dominic Lumley can get to that bottom lane, because they're not going to want to be on that outside for too long. Field rounds 3 and 4. Chase Pierce is going to bring the field to the start. Green flag is out. Daniel and Dominic got a good jump on that outside. Can they get down though? Dominic gets down. Chase Pierce is going to lead them through 3 and 4 for the first lap. Bernelli's stuck on that outside, not where he wants to be. A little bit of contact between him and Dominic. Billy Gregg's going to slide underneath. He's fighting for fourth. That dropped Daniel Bernelli from second all the way back to fifth. That just shows you right there, you do not want to be on the outside on these restarts. It's so hard to get down. There's not a lot of grip on that outside lane with these cars. You can roll the bottom so much better and carry so much more speed. Chase Pierce continues to lead. Ryan Likens is not letting him get away though. About a half car gap between the front two. Dominic Lumley's hunting in third. Jump back in the field a little bit. Oh, as there's a spinner going into pit road off the nose of Colton Brooks, it looks like. Jump back and see what happened here. '47 William Clark. Yeah, it looks like. Hopefully no one else makes contact. Oh, 29 of Bradley Potts. Just nowhere to go once the 47 kind of slid back up in the track there. Kind of looked like Colton Brooks got a little tight off the corner, and then once contact was made, it was everything he could to try to keep the car to be straight and back out, but get a little race recap going. So 7 laps in. Haven't had any lead changes yet. So we're under our first caution of the night. Chase Pierce has led all 7 of them so far. No, they don't use the choose cone or choose option in this league. Hey, Sended, I see you in chat. How you doing, bud? Yeah, I think that was just a situation of trying to carry speed off the corner and pushing up into the guy on the outside. It's very difficult if you do have a car on the outside to keep the car down off the corner. So as the pace car goes, the lights on the pace car turn off, the field doubles up 2 by 2. .47 of William Clark is still on pit road. Hopefully he can get back out. Pace car darts off. Chase Pierce will lead the field around 3 and 4. Into the restart zone. Green flag's out. Chase with a great jump. Dominic's gonna try to follow him through, and so is Daniel Bernelli. Daniel's gonna try to take advantage of being on the inside. Oh, there's a big wreck in the back. Looks like Keith got involved in that one too. See what happens here at quarter speed. Well, they're going down into 3. 72 of Jeremy Boz gets down in there. Oh, the 29 of... No. Oh, Jeremy clipped that apron. It shot him up in front of Keith. And then Keith had nowhere to go, got in the back of him. Then the 29 has nowhere to go as well. The 002 of Josh Laughlin, he just popped the wall to keep from hitting the 3 guys that were spinning. So yeah, Bradley Potts is gonna bring it down pit road, and same with Keith, try to get some damage fixed, and that puts us under caution number 2 of the night, as Jeremy Boz is getting one of his laps back. Puts him back on the lead lap. Well, for someone that got the track an hour ago, Polar, I'd say Likens is doing a darn good job. He's up here with the front with some of the fastest guys we've seen in this league so far. Definitely up front with a lot of the front contenders every week, so. Martinsville is a very much rhythm track too, though. The cautions aren't helping, but once you get a long run and you start getting a groove, It's very much rhythm based. Lights go off on the pace car. Field's going to start doubling up here. Chase Pierce is still going to lead him. This puts Dominic Lumley to the outside of him. Ryan Likens is going to be third, and Daniel Brunelli is going to be fourth. So, kind of like the initial start of the race, except Dominic and Daniel are going to swap spots in that outside lane. Pierce is going to bring him around 3 and 4 to the start-finish line. Green is out. Lumley was able to slide in the second. Leaves Brunelli stuck on that outside lane again. Pierce, as we got another yellow. Looks like Colton Brooks is around. High and off of 2. Oh, just a difference of braking zones there. Gets into the back of the 26 of Frank Barbaby. And then something else happened. A little bit of contact under pace, trying to get all woed up. Nothing big. Under our third caution of the night. Third caution for 10 laps, 18 laps in. Chase Pierce has been the leader of all of them so far. So, no lead changes to address so far. I was able to get your guys' new logos up there circulating in the track map for you guys, so field should be doubling up here this time by. Yep, lights are off in the pace car. Chase Pierce is going to lead him back to the start. Let's see if Dominic Lumley can get another good start on that outside lane. Dylan Potts, I see, is still lurking in the top 6 there. I see him in the 2 car. Chase Pierce is going to bring the field out of 4. Green is out. Dominic wasn't able to slide in. Ooh, contact between him and Lumley and Likens. Billy Gregg pops the wall off of 4 a little bit. Lets Brunelli slide in the 4th comfortably. Still a battle for 2nd between Lumley and Likens. Dominic is not willing to give up on this outside lane. Saw a little bit of contact in the back. Dominic is trying to squeeze him down, hold him down, not letting him get the run. This is exactly what Pierce wants to see. These guys not letting each other get away. Oh, as Dominic slips up a little bit, getting into one that lets Likens and Brunelli around him. Potts is looking to pounce. Oh, as Nate Gregg gets in the back of Potts. I think with... yeah, he ended up getting so close. Yeah, I think that was just a difference of where the throttle was being picked back up at. And you can see the two was trying to slow roll the corner a little bit, and Greg was ready to go. What happens there? Oh, and the 29 of Bradley Potts comes through and hits him in the right front. There's contact happening under pace. We are under our fourth caution of the night. 27 laps in once we hit the line here. Chase Pierce has led every single one of them. 4 cautions for 14 laps. I have the 98 crashed on the front stretch. Or was... I think he might have been having to go to the back. Yeah, he had to slow. That's all. Okay. So as of right now, the 13 of Colton Brooks has been involved in a couple things. He is the biggest mover of the race. He is up 7 spots, which is very difficult to do. We've seen passes be at a premium here tonight. Joseph Went is up 4 spots, and so is Jaden McGowan. So, not very many passes happening here tonight. Pace car pulls off. Chase Pierce will be the control car for the restart. Ryan Likens will be on his outside. You got Daniel Brumley behind him and Dominic Lumley. Or Daniel Brunelli and Dominic Lumley. Brunelli is trying to stay nice and tight, tucked up behind Pierce so Likens doesn't have a chance to get down. Brunelli is going to clear in the second. Lumley's going to try to follow him into third. Likens is going to try to slide into fourth. Brunelli is hounding Pierce now as a battle for your lead starts to heat up. Single file throughout most of the field. Colton Brooks has gained a couple more spots on that restart. He is up 8 positions now. You got Billy Gregg trying to get through the field after having to drop to the back for being the cause of that last caution. Top 4 have started to pull away from 5th place of Joseph Went. As I say that, Joseph Went is getting challenged for 5th by Joseph Klein. Joseph Klein clears, and so does Colton Brooks. Put Colton Brooks up 9 spots up to 6th. The top 4 remain the same, as you got Frank Bartleby looking to the inside. Him and Billy Gregg get around Joseph Wendt. Joseph Wendt starting to go in the wrong direction here. As your top 4 have pulled away. "36 laps in the books. Hey Diggs, how you doing? As top 4 are running nose to tail, battle for 5th is starting to heat up between Colton Brooks and Joseph Klein. Ooh, as you watch 002 of Josh Laughlin kind of tagged the wall off of 4 there. Colton Brooks, now that he's up to 5th, he is up 10 spots in this feature. So he is slowly climbing through the field. Let's see if he has anything for these front 4, as Chase Pierce, your leader, is starting to get hounded a little more and more by Daniel Bernelli. Your front 4 nose to tail just turning laps at this point. Everyone else is pretty single file through the entire field here. Got a nice foggy night here in Martinsville. These top 4 have they do have a 3-second gap back to Colton Brooks. As you got a battle for 6 heating up between Billy Gregg and Joseph Klein. Yeah, with Colton gaining 10 spots, that's impressive with a place that's as hard to pass here as this is. That's just being in the right lane for restarts and making every position, every battle count. As Billy Gregg jumps to the inside of Joseph Klein. Not quite clear. He's got the inside, the preferred line going into 3 though. He's gonna look inside Colton Brooks even. Even with Colton Brooks off of 4. Dives it deep into 1. Hooks that little old curb down there. Able to make a stick. Now Colton Brooks is looking to lose a spot. Oh, he gets loose. Loses traction. Tries to protect a spot from Bartleby. Go back to the front here. Chase Pierce still leads. Ooh, as you got a lap car of, I think that was Potts, Bradley Potts. Hits the wall pretty hard off of 4. He's going to be slow. But he's opened up a small gap between him and Daniel Bernelli. Not much, but 3/10 can be enough. As you see that starting to wide as Bernelli loses the rear of the car off of 4. See if Billy Gregg, now that he's clear of Klein and Brooks, see if he can start reeling in the front 4. He's got about 5-second gap to make up though. Chase Pierce continues to lead. Next time by, I'll be halfway. Do we end up seeing tire wear come into a factor here? You're seeing Chase kind of pull away a little bit. Daniel Bernelli's had to fight in traffic where Chase hasn't really had to battle anyone, been able to run the line he's wanted to, hasn't had to really worry about a guy on his outside or his inside. Oh, Keith's having he's had a rough last couple weeks. We are just over halfway in this one. Polar says the setup should tend loose. I am starting to see that. I'm not seeing as much wall swatting as we were earlier on in the run. Oh, as we jump back here, there's a battle between Frank and Joseph Klein here for 7th place. And Jaden McGowan's sitting right here looking for the hunt. Frank's trying to do the switchback, try to get the low and preferred line. Just couldn't get the drive off of 4. Slots back behind him. As Klein works his way under Brooks. Ooh, as we have a... Oh, that's a big wreck. Jump back and see what started this one. Luckily, we were kind of right here. We saw how it ended. So it goes in the corner. Oh, the 26 slid up when the 82 was in the middle lane, and then the 2 of Potts had nowhere to go. Yeah, the 26 of Frank Barbaby was trying to kind of arc the corner a little more. Tried sliding in, trying to do the diamond. The 82 was there. 82 expected the 26 to stay low. And when the 26 slid up, it slid him across his front bumper. And then the 2 of Potts has nowhere to go. He locks him up, expects him to stay low, so tries to get around him on the outside. And then both cars point towards that outside wall. And then Joseph went nowhere to go, ends up with a car on his hood. Everyone coming in for fresh rubber here. And in that pit cycle, Daniel Brunelli takes over the lead. So that right there is our first lead change of the night on lap 59. So Chase Pierce leads 58 laps. Let's see if, with him starting on the outside, can he get a good enough jump to challenge Bernelli here? As the lights go off in the pace car, we start doubling up 2 by 2. Yeah, sorry I didn't get to your comment, Diggs. Pace car pulls off. Daniel Brunelli is going to lead the field for the first time tonight. He's going to have Dominic behind him. Green is on. He slides up, getting a nice arc into one. This is going to put Pierce in a really bad spot. Lumley's on his inside. Ooh. Chase Pierce with a great launch off of 2 on the high side, though. Now that Daniel Brunelli's out front, can Pierce run him down? Single file throughout the entire field. We've seen it before the last couple weeks. Once that 18 gets out front, it's really hard to get back to him. Chase is managing about a 4/10 of a second gap between him and the leader. Lumley sits 3rd. Billy Gregg has worked his way back up to 4th. Ryan Likens, after those pit stops, has dropped all the way back to 9th. Ooh. As Frank is sideways off in the middle of the corner. Looks like there was slight contact between him and Colton Brooks. Go back up to the lead here. Brunelli still leads. Pierce is still in his tire tracks. He's under that 4/10 gap. So he's not letting him walk away. These two have gapped Lumley. It's about 6/10 from second back to third. Billy Gregg is right off the back of Dominic. Ooh, this was that. Well, it was Colton. Colton got the wall in 1 and 2. It looks like that right front is not happy on that car. Looks like he got it pretty good that last lap. I saw it in the back of the shot. Yeah, these cars are definitely funky because they seem like they got all the grip in the world, and then until they don't. Brunelli continues to lead. Chase Pierce is not letting him get away. He is in his tire tracks. One slip up and he's there to pounce. Pierce has got him under 3/10 of a second. So one thing I've noticed, Diggs, and I don't know why it is, but both your front two here are clean, but even with a clean car, the right front sticks out of the fender, and I don't know why they have the body like that, but I've always thought it looked weird. Pierce is right on the back of Brunelli. 26 to go this time by. Tires are out the window. Fuel is out the window. What you got is what you're running to the end. top 4 single file. Back Joseph Klein. Ryan Likens has battled up a little bit. He's up to 6th. Jade McGowan 7th. Joseph Wendt right behind him in 8th. Frank Bartleby is 9th. Keith has worked his way up to 10th. After having the rough race he's had. Lap traffic in front of the leaders. Let's see if it plays a factor. Brunelli goes to the low side. Lap traffic goes up to the high side. Gives them plenty of room. Oh, caution's out. What happened? So we saw the 29 slow around the outside. Oh, he caught the wall. And I think that might have... that broke his steering. Oh, and then... Ryan Likens, after its steering broke, had nowhere to go. Didn't expect him to be there on corner exit. Well, that's going to rack him back up. With under 20 to go. 6 cautions now. Be coming to 21 caution laps. We've only had 1 lead change as the 29 of Bradley Potts is just towed. We got a couple cars here getting their laps back. That puts William Clark and Dylan Potts back on the lead lap. Josh Laughlin in the 002 is still 2 laps down. Go through your field for a minute. So you got Daniel Bernelli leading. Chase Pierce is in 2nd. Dominic Lumley is 3rd. Yeah, I said, wait, Daniel Bernelli is leading. Chase Pierce is 2nd. Dominic Lumley 3rd. Billy Gregg is in 4th. Joseph Klein is in 5th. Ryan Likens is in 6th. Jade McGowan is in 7th. Joseph Wendt is 8th. Frank Bartleby is 9th. William Clark is 10th. Dylan Potts is going to be scored in 11th. Keith is coming out of pit road. He has scored 12th. Josh Laughlin is in 13th. Bradley Potts is in 14th. Colton Brooks, 15th. Jeremy Boz is 16th. And Braden Drury, those last 3 are out of the race. As the field doubles up, getting ready to kick this one back off. Daniel Bernelli takes the green, gets a good launch. Dominic gets a good launch behind him. Can Chase hold him off like he did last restart on the outside? Chase Pierce with a good drive off of 2. Clears him going into 3. Gonna slot back in the 2nd. Daniel Bernelli is going to lead the field off of 2. Single file behind him until we get back to Billy Gregg. Billy Gregg's in a battle for 4th with Joseph Klein. Klein can't get the run off the corner yet. Has to tuck back in. Pierce is starting to close back on the back bumper. Bernelli. These two are starting to walk Lumley again. Pierce is able to stay within 3/10 of Bernelli here. Starting to see a couple guys scrape the wall on corner exit, trying to get everything out of this car they can. Pierce is not letting Bernelli walk away from him. Pierce is within 2/10 of a second. Got a lap car up ahead of the leaders here. It's going to be Bradley Potts. He's going to slide up out of the way. Grabs the wall a little bit. Oh, as we got a caution, looks like Frank Bartleby is spun off a 2. See what happens here. Got the 2 of Dylan Potts behind him. Oh. Let's see if... Get a better camera angle on that one. Slow it down. Oh, 26 gets a little loose. He's following the tracks of Joseph Went. I think Dylan Potts was expecting him to be just a little closer to the wall. And in doing so, they make contact. Looks like the 2 is... He took a shot to the left front, but it looks like most of that popped back out. Don't know if I can say the same about Frank, though. Frank's still on track. It doesn't look too bad, honestly. These things... I've noticed that these cars with the template bodies on them, they are a lot more resilient than you think they would be. 7 cautions for 25 laps. Daniel Bernelli is your leader. He has been since just past halfway. Chase Pierce is right behind him. The only 2 that have led this race. Be just over a 5-lap shootout here. Let's check the weather, shall we? 70 degrees, 0 wind, humidity 95. So that is where we are getting the fog at, that's for sure. That would not be fun. 95% humidity with no wind. That just does not sound like fun. As the lights go off in the pace car, field's gonna double up. Pierce has been on the outside here for the last couple of restarts as he figured out a way to get a good jump on Bernelli to do anything with him here. As the pace car jumps down pit road, leaves the field in the hands of your leader. Waiting on the flag, green flag's out. A little bit of contact between Bernelli and Lumley. Pierce is going to try to fight on the outside for the lead. He's there. But being on the outside, can he get a drive? He's trying to pinch him down. Opens the door up. Oh, there's a big spin in the back. There's the caution. I saw Joseph Went go around. Oh, it started there. Looks like Keith got in the back of the 82. The 82 got up into Joseph Went. The 82 is Jaden McGowan. Got up into Joseph Went. That sent him around. The 82 goes around. Keith bumps into the 82. That causes a giant stack up with the 47 and the 2. And then Keith noses back into the Joseph Went and collects the 82 again. And that was Bradley Potts up against Dylan Potts up against the outside wall back there. So quite a few cars got contact in that one. Yeah, Michelle, we got some of that white stuff here too. I knew it was coming, and I know I live in Michigan, but I didn't want it at the same time. So, welcome to living in the north, I guess. So I believe, yep, this is going to put us into our first green-white checkered attempt. So this will be attempt 1 of 2 for green-white checkered. I got Joseph Wentz still on pit road. Hopefully he can beat the pace car out here and hopefully it's not too bad. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to, though. There's a field doubles up here. Daniel Bernelli going to lead him to the green. See if Chase learned anything on that last restart. If he's got anything for him on this green-white checkered. I see Dylan Potts in the back here dog tracking a little bit. That car is not happy. Pace car is off. Bernelli leads the field to the green. Gets a good jump. Dominic Lumley slams it up in there, trying to hold second. Can Chase get the drive off the top to clear him? Chase gets the drive, gets to the bumper. Can he turn underneath him? He's there. White flag's out. Racing back, gives him a little bumper. Oh! Couple people spin. Dominic Lumley is now on the inside of Chase Pierce. Can Dominic make it happen? Coming off of 4, who's got the better drive? Pierce grabs the wall. Oh, it's... Wow. I gotta wait for the results for that one, because I don't know if the tower is going to have them accurate or not, but they were 3 cars sideways across the finish line. I don't know if Lumley got it or Greg got it. Let's see what the results say. This has got Dominic Lumley as your winner, Billy Gregg second, and Chase Pierce third. All within 1/10 of each other. Ryan Likens all the way up to 4th. Jaden McGowan 5th. Dylan Potts 6th. William Clark 7th. Keith comes back to 8th after the mishaps in the first half of the race he had. Josh Laughlin 9th. Frank Bartleby 10th. Joseph Klein 11th. Daniel Bernelli drops back to 12th. That's a couple rough races in a row for him. Bradley Potts is 13th. Joseph Went 14th. Colton Brooks finishes 15th. Jeremy Boss 16th. And then Gage is your race control, and it looks like Bradley Drury did not make the main. Well, let's go see if we can pull in your leader, or your winner, I should say, not leader, but your winner. Dominic.
Hello.
So, did you expect to be in that position coming to the checkered?
Absolutely friggin' not. Man, I got a shit-eating grin on my face.
Sometimes you're the bug, sometimes you're the windshield, and sometimes you're just in the right place at the right time.
Hey, man, that's 2 weeks in a row, and you know what? I'm going to take that, and we're going to move on here, and yeah.
Actually, I think here in just a minute or two, I might have points updated for you.
Uh-oh.
Because I know Polar was.
Yeah, that was the finish I needed.
Yep. I mean, with the points battle as tight as it was, that one definitely helps.
Yeah, I hate it went out like that. I hate it's not a battle between me, Nate, and Daniel no more. Unfortunately, I've got my opinions. They got theirs. I feel a little favoritism in the favor, but we're gonna move on here. We may get our own little league going here and try to get something going with some late model guys and just try to fair it out a little bit. And it's just this is starting to become a little too much, honestly. And I've had fun while I've ran it, and that's that.
Well, after tonight, I can say you are leading the points.
Well, that's interesting. That's going to be a hard pill to swallow. There's going to be some decisions made this week. I don't know whether I want to come back or not. I don't know. Well, we'll go from there. And it's nice being in the booth 3 weeks in a row. And yeah, that's really all I can ask for is 3 weeks of decent racing and 3 weeks in Winter Circle. There's not much more I can ask for.
Yeah. Well, great win tonight. Like I said, you led one lap, and it was the last one, the one that counted. So,
hey man, I'd rather lead the one that counts, instead of 102. Man, it was a fight there. My car was dog crap. I didn't know what to do with it, how to fight it, what to do. I just held on for dear life and prayed for the best and got the best. So we're gonna move on, and
you put yourself in a spot at the end to be there, and that's what counts. So
yes, sir. That's all I can ask for, and I appreciate you for broadcasting and putting this on. And hopefully, maybe I'll be back here next week, 4 weeks in a row. I doubt that. Yeah, that monkey's gonna be off my shoulder. I ain't getting that lucky here. So, but yeah, thank you for having me, man.
Yep. Before I let you go, anyone you'd like to thank?
You for having me here in the broadcast, the people that put this on, and just everyone for racing somewhat decent.
Alrighty, bud. Well, I'm gonna let you go. Let you get out of here. Enjoy the rest of your night, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull up your second place finisher. Billy, Greg, you got me?
I got you loud and clear.
So, well, I asked, oh, goodness, I asked Dominic. Yeah, I asked Dominic, what he thought about being in that spot coming into the checkered, or what he thought, like how big his eyes got off a 2 and the gift he was given. What was your view coming off a 4 with almost the same opportunity?
Well, when Pierce got into Brunelli and moved him up the track, I didn't expect Dom to get to the inside, and I didn't expect Dom and Pierce to get together. If I'd have went to the bottom, I probably could have won the race, but they ran into the wall, and I ran into the wall right behind them.
Yeah, I was watching them both slide sideways across the line, And I didn't know if you had got him or not off the initial finish there, because you had a head of steam as those guys were sideways.
It
So
was definitely close. I would have liked to have got it. I'm glad to see Dom get it. That makes 3 in a row for him, being one of our BGR drivers. I couldn't be happier when we went 1, 2, 3.
yeah, it's being able to. I was talking to him, and he's like, "Yeah, I think my luck has run out." He's like, "I'd love to come in here next week and be in the booth for 4 in a row, but he's like, I having 3 already. He's like, it's gonna be hard to beat that." So
Yeah, it's gonna be. This is Dom and I run a lot of laps at this track, and we're both pretty good here. Pierce is good everywhere, um, but it's gonna be difficult to pull that off. He's gonna have a bullseye on his back for sure.
well, in halfway through the run, once Brunelli got the lead off of pit road, I'm like, that's one car no one in this field wants to see out front, because normally once he gets out front, it's hard to chase him back down.
Well, you know, Pierce and Dominic and myself, we were all in Discord, and right there until about 20 to go, we never really got after it. And I felt like Brunelli was pushing too hard early, and I knew that Pierce had something for him, and I was hoping that we could all get by when the time came.
Yeah, I was amazed with the long run speed Pierce could keep in that car. Like, even when he was out front right before we had the caution just after halfway, he was pulling on everyone else. I think he got up to almost a half-second lead over the long
Well,
run.
there's not a whole lot of people that are a whole lot better at this than Pierce. I don't, he just recently won an actual ride in a Legends car. That just ended a week or so ago. And he won that championship and actually gets a chance to go to Atlanta and drive a real Legends car off of that deal, off of iRacing deal. I think that's pretty cool. I'm going to make the trip with him. One of my really good friends. He's really good at this.
That's it's really cool to see those opportunities open up, from going from a video game sitting behind a computer to jumping in an actual car and not having that chance without doing this. That's always a cool stepping stone.
Absolutely, that is what happened for Pierce. I couldn't be happier for the guy. He deserves it. I hope he does really well. I'm going to back him in every way I can, and I hope he makes the best of it.
Alrighty. Well, great second place tonight. I know probably about halfway through that race, you probably weren't thinking you were looking long run, but this is one of those places you never know where it's gonna end up. So
Well, I really felt like the whole race we had a third place car. I felt like we were better than Dom. Running fourth, we were having to race whoever was in fifth on the outside to get back to the bottom. And then by the time we pulled that off and then caught back up to Dom, there would be another caution. But I felt like we could drive to Dom and just ride. I felt like when the time came, we were eventually going to pass Dom, but then everything got so crazy up front. It happened the way it did, and that's probably the best thing that could have happened.
well, like I told Dom, sometimes you're at the right place at the right time, and you capitalize because you're in the wrong place at the wrong time more times.
Right. Sometimes you're the bug, and sometimes you're the windshield.
Yep. Well, before I let you go for tonight, anyone you'd like to thank?
Man, just got to thank Brad Smith at Velocita. He makes this happen for a bunch of us. Couldn't do it without him. Wish my son was here tonight. Some things happened, some whatever. Just glad that they gave us an opportunity to run, and we hope we make it back to see you next week.
Well, I'll be here, that's for sure. Hopefully I'll see you guys back up in the booth. That's always the goal, right?
Well, that's 2 out of 3 for me, and 3 out of 3 for Dom. So, I, chances are pretty good.
Looking good. I let him know that the points are up, and he actually took over the points lead after this
Yes,
race.
I'm aware that he took the points lead. That's huge. We're gonna hope he keeps it so we can hopefully he'll win the championship.
Alrighty. Well, hopefully you guys can keep this momentum and roll it into next week. So,
All right, buddy. Well, we appreciate you. Appreciate you for doing the broadcast, and we'll see you next week.
alrighty. Have a good night.
Thank you, sir.
Alrighty, and that was your second place, Billy Gregg. Well, that's gonna wrap it up for us tonight. Tomorrow night, Tuesday night, AJ is back. We are doing the Winston Cup replay series, the 87s at Darlington. So that one's going to be a technical, tricky track. Make sure you guys tune in for that one. That's going to be a long, grueling race. If you want to see AJ complain and say that his arms are tired, tomorrow night's going to be the time to do it. But that's it for me up in the booth. Everyone have a great night.